Are you looking to get into the field of cybersecurity? Did you know that there's an estimated 3.5 million unfilled jobs in cybersecurity positions, and that number will grow by the end of 2021? In my 30-year career, I've helped hired hundreds of people to get into the field. Do you want to know what those jobs are like? What are the best courses and education for each job? By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge to chart your path to start this new exciting cybersecurity career. So let's get started. For those of you that do not know me, my name's Eric Bellardo, and I've worked, like I said, for 30 years in the field of cybersecurity. In our channel here, we teach a lot, and we want to help you learn about online safety, cybersecurity, and give you real strategies to start in this field. Tonight, we're multicasting to Facebook and YouTube. So if you want me to see your comments, I'm going to go ahead and put something here. Go ahead and click on this link so that if you're on Facebook, I can see your comments as we're going through the live here. So again, welcome. I created this one video and this live stream today as a request from a lot of viewers that wanted me to expand on one of our videos that we did earlier in the month about cybersecurity and how to get into the field. I'm going to link that up here in the card after the video. So we're going to go deeper into what cybersecurity really is, what jobs are available in the field, and how do you get into these jobs. I'm going to break this down into what is cybersecurity, what are the career paths that are available in the field, then what education and training and skills you need, because it's not just education, it's also the skills and the mentality to be in in different types of fields. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Once we finish with that, we're going to have an open Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, they can ask me. So let's just get right on it. Okay. So what is cybersecurity, and how can I enter in this field? Okay, so cybersecurity, as I said in my video, is the art of protecting networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access or criminal use, and the practice of ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of that information. Okay? There are two key areas that I want you to take away from that definition. The art, okay? Everybody thinks that cybersecurity is so technical, but it really is an art. There's no one right way to secure systems, organizations, computers, anything out there. So it requires a lot of critical thinking and creative thinking, and that is huge in the space of cybersecurity. Then confidentiality, integrity, availability. We call it the CIA triad. Okay, that's the acronym we use. And it's simply speaking the foundation to everything in cybersecurity. We want to protect the confidentiality. It's protecting the information, keep it private and secure. Integrity, which is how do we keep that information from being changed, deleted, or modified? And then availability, as it states, is having those systems or that information or your information. When you go to a website, you want that information to be available to you. So we protect and we defend systems so that that information is available to you whenever you need it. Now, those are the building blocks of cybersecurity. Now you know those. Okay? So let's talk about the jobs in cybersecurity. And I get this question a lot. And the reason I'm going to bring this up is a lot of times people think of cybersecurity as a one-size-fits-all career. You train in cybersecurity and that's what you do. And nobody understands what cybersecurity is. So I put together a slide based on the National Institutes of Standards and Technology in the U.S. It's called the NICE framework, okay? And they broke the job types into various, I think it's 7 there, yeah, so I count them 7. It's investigate, collect and operate, protect and defend, analyze, operate and maintain, oversee and govern, and securely provision. So these are, and by no means these are all the jobs and job titles that you'll see out there. But I'm just going to go through some of them here, especially the ones in purple that you see here, because those are the ones that somebody starting in your in a career in this career field can get in first, or with enough training that you can go as a junior or as a person entering the field. So let's start with investigate. Cyber investigations. That is being able to take the information and critically thinking and bringing the information, presenting it, and collecting that information and bringing it in so that other people can put it together and understand what's happening in networks and systems. And then you grow into the field of digital forensics and forensics investigations within it, which is you require a lot more education to do so, a lot more training, and those are the folks that do all the forensics investigation for criminal or civil suits and things of that nature. Okay. In the collect and operate, you have collection operations, cyber operations planning, and cyber operations. It's more of a leadership role where you are collecting more information, you are planning the operations of a group. So let's jump to the protect and defend. So here we get to the cyber defense analysis, and this area right here is where most people join the cybersecurity world. And this is joining a SOC, like you've seen on TV, the people that have all those monitors and are monitoring organizations and networks, and they start in this cyber defense analysis, and the infrastructure support is supporting all of those computers. We call them SIMs, that are computers that are monitoring all the organizations. And then once you learn how to do that, you get into incident response. But the other area of this is vulnerability assessment and management. And this is one of the areas where people get into kind of the offensive operations, or the areas that we scan for all these vulnerabilities, the missing patches. And we're not talking about just running your Windows update. This is running specially designed software so that you can detect it over a wide network. Which we're talking, anywhere from 1,000 to 250,000 servers and computers in there. So understanding how to run those things, that is a great job, and I've done that for many, many years. All source analyst is part of that analysis of the cyber defense. So it's being able to take information from multiple sources, be it the SIM, be it information that we get from the endpoints, being the information that we get from any intelligence that we're getting, and putting it together. And that leads you to a threat analyst. So the threat analyst is the one that looks at malware, threats, vulnerabilities that are appearing out there. They take that information and then they look at how that impacts the systems. It's a great analytical, and for somebody that likes to do searches online and searches on a different one, threat analyst is an amazing job. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Of course, in the operate and maintain, you've got your customer service, your tech support like normal. When it comes to security, they have tech support for security things like, resetting passwords and things of that nature. System administration, of course, is, maintaining all these different tech tools and servers that we have both on the cloud or on premise there. Okay. The training, education, and awareness, and the oversee and governance, okay, is a, for a lot of people that are not specifically technical, this job is incredible. For people who like to teach, the people that like to ensure that you're passing the information and letting people know. There's a whole field of teaching security, of educating your users, doing awareness campaigns, basically being a marketer of security. Okay? And then in the provision part, you've got your risk management, which are the people that take the information, that kind of the residual information after they do an investigation, put it together and track those things so that we can complete the things. And then for all you developers out there, you've got the software development and security. So we have that. We have the system architecture, the systems development, and then the test and evaluation piece where you're literally testing all these systems as they're being developed and used. So the point that I want you guys to take away from this is, number one, cybersecurity is not one type of job. It's a multitude of jobs that work together for the greater good. And there's each one of these types of jobs require a little different skill set that might be more to your personality style. Are you a person that likes to work strictly technical? Are you a person that likes to work with people? Are you a person that likes to put puzzle pieces together? Are you the type that likes to investigate and move forward? So, all right. So now let's get to what training do I need? And here's something that we'll discuss here quite a bit, because there's a lot of different pathways to our field. Okay, there is the university degrees, where everybody, now most universities, both in person and online, are doing bachelor's degrees in computer science or computer security, and you see those advertised on TV, and they're great programs, and there's a lot of people that I know that have gone through those. Now they have masters and PhDs as well that they offer as well. Then there's the certifications. You probably have heard of the boot camps. It's let's take somebody that doesn't know anything and put him through a boot camp of 6 weeks or 12 weeks, and they teach you all the ins and outs of security, and they test you, and you come out with some certifications. And then we're going to talk in the next slide about one of the organizations that do that, and I'm going to show you the pathway that I recommend to people when they are starting and they want to have those official certifications. Okay? Then for some people, it's very hard to go through a structured pathway, be it university, be it a certification, which are very important. But they like to self-learn or do online courses, or even have real-world on-the-job training. And that's another way. So there's courses out there in organizations and the websites like Udemy, Coursera, on YouTube. There's different courses out there in different organizations. And a lot of people go through these courses and get their certificate of completion and bring that to bear with their experience and get into the field through either an internship or something of that nature, and take those certifications with them along. So it helps them get in there. And then the last one is the transfer from other IT fields. So a lot of folks that start out as a system administrator or a server administrator or an IT help desk person and have been in the field, then they decide to branch out or move into the cybersecurity side. Okay. Okay. So like I mentioned, there is an organization out there, and I was asked to actually talk about this from one of our viewers. What is the pathway that we normally recommend for people that are starting at zero and want to learn computer security, cybersecurity, and how do they go in from being no knowledge all the way to having enough certifications to go ahead and apply for your first full-time job, if you will. So the CompTIA program out there, and I'm not associated with CompTIA. I don't sell them. I don't do anything like that. But this is something that I've seen in the career that have worked quite well. So they have a pathway where they have a course and an exam with a certification called IT Fundamentals. And IT Fundamental teaches you the basis of IT and computers and the networks and the operating systems. And it's a very high level, but it introduces you to that. Then they move to the A+, which now introduces you to more detailed of, computers, operating systems, networks. And then you get through the Network Plus certificate. And the Network Plus is, as it states, it's a networking certificate. And one of the most important skills or technical skills to learn within the information security world is that networking, having a base knowledge of how networks work and how operating systems work. So by this time you have all, at this point, when you've done your IT fundamentals, your A+ and your Net+, you can go into the field as a IT professional, as a server administrator or an IT help desk type person. And then you take your Security Plus, and that is your first security certificate that gives you the view to understand the security concepts and what we do and what we use to be able to continue in the field of security. And then you've got your advanced analyst and advanced security. And actually, CompTIA, if you go to their website, they have probably about, I think at last count, it was over 50 different certifications. So there's for cloud and there's for applications. And at that point in time, you can specialize in the different things that I showed you guys in the past slide. So that is a good pathway to go. Okay. So with that, I'm hoping that I gave you an intro to what the cybersecurity is, what the different career paths are there, and how do you learn, and what are the pathways that you'd like to take. So I want to acknowledge a couple people there. I see Kelly, I see Rose, I think, I see Mr. Cybersafe there. I'd see Adolfo. And thank you very much for attending here. So at this point in time, I'd like to start with Q&A and see if anybody has any questions. And I see our first one here. Can you take the Security Plus and take the Net Plus after? Good question. So the Security Plus builds on some of the information that the Net Plus has. So knowledge of networks, knowledge of how networks operate and things of that nature, so that you can use that knowledge when you're talking about how different things impact when it comes to the Security Plus or any of the security courses are, because they impact what you do, what happens in networks, and that's the roadways that the bad guys use to get into different computers. So you need to understand. It's not required by the organization, but what I would suggest is that you go to other organizations like a Udemy, or Coursera or any of those online, or even YouTube, and get really familiar with what is a network, how networks work, what is TCP/IP, what are the OSI layers, and different things like that, so that you can grow and understand those things. So by the time you take your Sec Plus certificate, you have a basis to understand. So that's good. That's a great question. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay. So something that, as we wait for some more questions, something that I always like to tell people is the skills. There's other skills that you need to also learn. When you go to like a university or you go to a course or a boot camp, it teaches you I call it the hard skills. So the knowledge of, these are the things you need to learn. One of the things that is sorely missing in a lot of these educations is the practical knowledge and the soft skills that you would need to be part of the career. And that's something that's very hard to teach, very hard to standardize, but it's something that is very important. Know that for most cybersecurity careers, you're going to have to know how to interact with others. I will just say it like this. One of the bad things about being in cybersecurity is that even though you're trying to help, you're always seen as the cop. You're always seen as the one that's going to stop somebody, as a traffic cop. And being able to have the soft skills to overcome those kinds of issues where you need to talk to somebody and convince them that what you're trying to do for them is the right thing for not only them, but also for the organization. It is very important that those soft skills are there. A lot of writing, a lot of being able to communicate effectively. That's something that it needs to be added to some of these boot camps and education, and then of course the practical knowledge. So we've got a lot of boot camps out there that give you the practical knowledge. It's not just knowing that confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and that applies to this and that applies to that, and the book smarts of that. A lot of people come out of some of these courses, and you put them in front of a computer, and they go, "Wait, I've never touched that." So a lot of the practical knowledge and learning that through internships and practice and YouTube videos and courses and things that you can do with your hands is critically important. Yes, communication skills are hella important. Good communication skills are very much needed. Being able to communicate, like I said, with your teammates. If you're in a SOC, being able to say, "I just saw this. Can you verify this?" So communication skills are very much needed. Okay, so we've got another one. Red teaming versus blue teaming. Can you separate the cybersecurity careers like incident response is underwear and pen testing underwear? Okay, so when there's another concept that I didn't touch in the careers is that they separate a lot of the career fields into blue, red, and what people don't listen or don't know is called purple teaming, which is in the middle. Okay, so red team or offensive operations are people that use skills to test. So if you remember the chart that I had up here, you had the test and evaluation people. So within test and evaluation, you've got people that they're also known as the white hackers or the people that do the testing. And what they do is they use the skills that they learn on penetration testing or hacking to test an organization. So they go outside or they do it inside and they run tests the same way that a bad guy would do. Okay? And once they find something, they document it and they show it to the folks so that we can fix it. Blue team is the defense. So just like every other sport, you've got an offense, you've got a defense. So red teams and vulnerability management teams, they're doing offensive operations. Then you've got the blue side, which are your defenders. They're the people that work on the firewalls, that work on your systems, that patch, that do the governance, the compliance, and they all work as a team to put the defenses on a system. So that's where you see in the career that you've got your offensive operations, or your testers, your pen testers, your vulnerability management, all those people that use kind of a negative, if you will, or I won't call it negative, but more of an assault type testing versus the people that protect, defend, support. Those are people in the blue side of the house. So when you look at that, if you think, am I attacking or am I defending? So that's the difference between blue and red. I'm hoping that helped. Okay. All right. How do you start in cyber education awareness position? Can you volunteer for that in, I guess you're saying in small business? Well, all organizations, especially the bigger ones, have a awareness training programs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I might have that wrong, but I think it's October where Cybersecurity Awareness Month. There are teams within a lot of organizations that basically work to prevent, you see them on the walls or on stickies where they have, protect your password or different things of that nature, where they're trying to bring awareness to the users. And they're basically the marketers of cybersecurity, and they market and they give the information and train the users. So that's an organization that's usually part of the cybersecurity organization. And within all organizations and in the government or in civilian or big civilian companies, they have a cybersecurity awareness team that does it. And you can, if you're within the organization, you can volunteer to work on, or there are positions available in that. Okay. Okay. What's my take on capture the flags, CTFs? And usually seems complicated for someone who's just getting into cybersecurity. How can one learn or master to do capture the flags? I will tell you that while it seems complicated, it's like any sport to learn. Capture the flag, for those of you that don't know, is an exercise where an organization will set up a network, usually a fake network, and they will have different teams, and it's a game, and they will say, we need you to hack this computer or find this particular data in this computer. And teams of offensive operations or white hat hackers or anybody that's in the organization that wants to do cybersecurity and learn offensive operations goes and has a time, usually it's about 24 hours, and they say go. And the first person to either capture the computer, penetrate the computer, or capture a specific piece of data wins the prize. And usually it's for pride, but it is not hard to learn. And there's basic capture the flags, there's more advanced, and then there's the DEF CON style, black hat style capture the flags, which are pretty hard. So I can tell you that within Coursera or a Udemy or any of these other courses, there are courses to learn how to do capture the flags. And it is an integral skill to learn for both sides, because as a defender, you have to learn the tactics that are going to come to you. So how do I better protect? By learning how the bad guys are going to attack me. And then being able to know that if those are the techniques that they're using, I need to block those things. So it's always very important, and I've done hundreds of capture the flags in my career. It's because we learn to do that so that we can go, oh, wait, they came in through this firewall, so I need to add these rules or something like that nature. When you come back to your day job after doing your capture the flag, you work on those things to protect them. So they're first of all, they're incredibly important to learn how to do. There are actually ranges out there that you can learn to do this for free. So very important, very good. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. So I'll wait a few seconds here, but I want you guys to know that this career field, first of all, it's so wide and so many different skills that when you look at it, when you don't come in thinking, I want to be a penetration tester or I want to be this. You come in, you do a job, and then you look at another one and you do that job and you try the different jobs and learn the different jobs. Over 30 years, I think I've probably done most of the jobs that were in that chart. And I fell in love with certain areas. I love doing the incident response and I was a forensics investigator for 10 years of my career, and I've been an incident responder for 15 of that. But I've done the governance, the risk and compliance, the analysis. One of the areas that I absolutely love is threat intelligence, and being able to go into the dark web and the deep web and being able to get information from different areas so I can protect the people that I'm hired to serve. So, okay. So with that, I would like to thank you all for coming. If you have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I respond to all the comments that we have here that are posted. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to our channel for more content. We go live every Saturday at 7 o'clock at night Eastern Standard Time, and we will be putting a video out one time a week as well. So it's great content. Whenever there is any issues like what just happened with Facebook this last week, please see the video, and I'm going to put the card here. But whenever there's an alert that applies to social media, online safety, we post it in this channel as well. So please share this video with people that you think would help. Like and subscribe to our channel. And with that, this is Eric signing off. Thank you very much for attending today.